bullshit.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. You're the world's strongest man, just dropped the ball. And the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's out the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth! Ignore the flames!
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Da-da-da-da. Okay. Like the other one never happened. I give up because you know what's really weird is I can't even watch this right now. It's not showing me this one. It's showing me the other one if I go to my channel. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, let me see. No, it's still showing that one's live. Craziest shit ever. Okay, well, I guess you guys are here, right? You're here, right? You can see me. Hey, Kaya. Okay, let's start over like it's a brand new one. Mishka wins the boob for the first time tonight. And I guess she actually wins the second one because technically Vladdy always gives them away. So that would have been to Mishka because she was the second. So you got a set of boobs tonight, Mishka. That's one way to get it, huh? Kaya, how are you, darling? You can't stay? You're off to Grandma soon? Okay, well, enjoy. Thank you for stopping by and saying hey, darling. And back. Thank goodness. Miss Kate, how are ya? And Buddy. And okay. Well, at least some people are dedicated. The ones that matter, right? Who cares about the rest? We don't need them. And, oh, good. Thank you, Flatty. So I was looking at White House stuff. I'm a little frustrated, but hey, you know, what can I do? Okay, so maybe that was it. It's 20 minutes. President Trump delivers remarks to the Michigan National Guard. Does he talk about other stuff too? Shall we watch it? Dr. Phil jinxed us. He did, that dickhead. Wasn't even nice. And YouTube, just back off, okay? Stop. Can I see mine now? Let me look over here. No, I'll just do this. Hopefully they don't mess with me now. Oh, Lord. Can we get past that part? I'm okay if we do. Are you guys? Sure. He's just shaking hands. Okay, there he is. All right. There. Okay. Hey, Wanda. How are you, darling? And anyways, is back. How are you? Okay. Here we go. All right, we're gonna listen to Trump. Maybe. Oh, there. Sorry for the yawning. Yes, welcome back, everybody. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's try this. I have to cam down, mute off.
Going to save it and make it better. Actually, you can. If those are chairs, yeah, they are. Honor to be back in the great state of Michigan. And as you know, we had big victory in Michigan. Guard base with the men and women of the 127th Wing of the Michigan Air National Guard. Thank you very much for being here. This is great. It's a great honor and a great honor for me. We Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who's doing a really great job. The Houthis will tell you that. He's doing a very good job. Major General Paul Rogers and Brigadier General Daniel Kramer of the Michigan National Guard. Commander of the 127th Wing, Brigadier General Matthew Brancato. Thank you very much. Deputy Commander Colonel David Spihar, wherever you may be, David. Where's David? Hello. Hello, David. Where the hell are you, David? He's like the quiet type, right? But a killer, I hear. Command Chief Master Sergeant Bruce Hedrick. Bruce? Hello, Bruce. Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Great job. For decades, they've been trying to save this facility. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just recently because I heard about it recently from some people, including your governor, who has done a very good job. She came to see me. That's the reason she came to see me, by the way, to save Selfridge. And some of the other politicians and some of the military people, they love this place. They love what it stands for, all the victories they've had here over the years. So I want to thank Governor Gretchen Whitmer for bringing it also to our attention very strongly. And, you know, I'm not supposed to do that. She's a Democrat. They say, don't do that. Don't have her here. I said, no, she's going to be here. She's done a very good job, frankly, and she was very much involved with the Republicans. They worked together on saving it, and it was not easy. So I want to thank you very much, Gretchen. Good job. Thank you. Michigan House Speaker Matt Hall worked with Gretchen and everybody else. Thank you, Matt. Great job you're doing, too. John James, as you know, is right now working on the great, big, beautiful deal. I said, do me a favor, John, just stay back there and let's get your vote. Let's not worry about this today. But John was fantastic, as were all of the other representatives that you have that are very, very, very hard, actually. And Michigan Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you very much. Great job. Done a great job. But I want to thank all of the people that I just mentioned, but in particular, when I look at the House members, they have been calling me all the time. We got to get it done. And they worked along with Gretchen and some others. And you're going to be very happy with what I have to say right now. I also want to thank Michigan's tremendous Republican delegation, the whole delegation, the whole state, because they're back in Washington and they're helping our congressman and they're helping us get the votes that we need, because I think if we get it, we have the biggest tax cut in history. And if we don't get it, you have the biggest tax increase. And for that, I will blame the Democrats, because we probably won't get any votes from Democrats, only not for any reason other than with them, we're Republicans, and the Democrats tend not to vote anytime we vote. It's the whole thing is so crazy. But it'll be the biggest tax increase in history if we don't get it. And that's why the Republicans can do it, but they have to stick together. And I think they are, from what I understand, really sticking together. I want to thank also Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and John Thune, leaders John Thune. They have been working together and with the senators and the Congress, men and women, and I think they've got something that's really, it's big league, and it's very important. The biggest bill ever, if we get it done, and I think we will. For decades, Selfridge Air National Guard Base has stood as a crucial pillar of North American air defense, just 20 miles north of Detroit, where you're going to have a lot of car factories opening very soon, by the way, I might add. With access to the largest military airspace complex east of the Mississippi, Selfridge is tightly integrated with the National All-Domain Warfighting Center. This airfield saw its first military takeoff all the way back in 1917. Can you believe that? Wow, wouldn't that have been a shame to close this great history for something else that wouldn't be as good? The Tuskegee Airmen trained here during World War II, and generations of Michigan patriots have served here with great distinction. Unfortunately, that proud legacy was put at risk by the retirement of the key aircraft based here, in particular the A-10 Thunderbolt II Warthog, which I hear is an incredible plane. It's too bad. It's a long time it's been up there. I said, why don't we save it? I actually said that last time, and we did save it. I said that in my last term, and we did save it, but now it's coming to an end. But I hear the Warthog is incredible. We have support aircraft and also the KC-135 strata tankers. In recent years, many again have feared for the future of the base. They've been calling everybody, but the only one that mattered was Trump. They called Trump, and we got it done, which represents $850 million in economic impact across the state of Michigan. And probably it could be much more than that as we expand it out, and creates thousands and thousands of good and important jobs, both in the military and civilian jobs. So Gretchen, that's a big economic, you're not going to have too many economic development jobs like that. It's great. But today I've come in person to lay to rest any doubts about Selfridge's future and the vital role it'll play in our national defense. As Commander-in-Chief, I'm proud to announce that very soon we will replace the retiring A-10 Warthogs with 21 brand new F-15EX Eagle II fighter jets, the best in the world, fresh off the line. Brand new. And they have an expression, you know what that means, fresh off the line. That means they are brand new. They've never been anywhere. This is where they're going to be for a long time.
Daddy.
And I saw one of them flew over my head, and I said, what the hell? That plane has serious power. So this is the best there is anywhere in the world, the F-15EX Eagle II. This will keep Selfridge at the cutting edge of Northern American air power. My administration will also continue with plans to replace the going KC-135s and KC-46 Pegasus aircraft to continue that important refueling mission. And they'll be restocked with brand new top-of-the-line refuelers. For generations, the men and women of Selfridge have always been here, and they've always been for us. Whether you're Republican or you're Democrat, they've always been for us. They've been for America. And under the Trump administration, we're going to be there for you. The previous administration was willing to surrender Air National Guard fighter units across the country by retiring aircraft that were not being replaced. We are replacing. But under the Trump administration, we're correcting that injustice, and that starts right here in Michigan, where we have a big commitment to Michigan and to the state, even beyond this. This is an exciting time for the United States military. Since November, enlistment numbers for every branch of the armed forces have surged. Recruitment is now the highest it's been in 39 years. Now, if you remember that, you better hold on to those jobs, or somebody will take them. Somebody will take those jobs so fast. Hold on to those jobs. Don't leave that job. Who would have thought? Because prior to November 5th, which is Election Day, I was hearing that recruitment was so bad, it was so impossible, it was hard to get people. And this goes not only for the armed forces, for the police, for firemen. People are proud of our country again. Big difference. But we had the worst numbers that we've ever had virtually. We couldn't get anybody, and now we're overstocked. We have waiting lists of people wanting to sign up and be with the military. They're proud of our country again. And I'll be supporting a record-setting $1 trillion investment in our national defense. We're going to go $1 trillion, the largest in the world, largest ever in our country, but no other country's invested that much. We have a $1 trillion budget for military this year. And we have tremendous plans, including an order to begin construction of the Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland from missile attack. We're going to call it the Golden Dome. We had the Iron Dome, but somehow, Gretchen, Golden Dome sounds better to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not. What do you like better, Golden Dome or Iron Dome? What do you like better? Golden, let's have a vote. Golden Dome. Oh, no, I think we're in trouble. Oh. How about the Iron Dome? Good, keep it, that's good. Because we made all the changes already. It'll be a little bit, even the renderings look very golden, but beautiful. No, it's going to be incredible. The latest and the greatest. A lot of it's going to be made in Michigan. A lot of it is going to be made, the Golden Dome. You know, other countries have it. In particular, Israel has it. And we have a much more advanced, and theirs is very good. We helped do it. We did it. But we have an advanced version now that really is incredible what it does. We had a case study of 169. Out of 169, every one of them just shut down. And I think we're entitled to it, don't you? I think we're entitled to it as a country. America's military will soon be stronger and more powerful than ever before, and Selfridge Air National Guard Base will remain at the center of the action. And I just want to say we're building some of the greatest submarines and various other ships, but submarines in particular, we have a monopoly on great submarines. We're building the greatest in the world, most powerful machine ever built. And we're doing some things that are just incredible. In one way, you hate to do it, but in another way, you really have no choice. And we're fighting very hard on the China front and what's happening in the Middle East, and a lot of good things. You're going to be hearing a lot of good things. It's a shame. When I left office not so long ago, we had no wars. We defeated ISIS in 3 weeks. It was supposed to take 5 years, they told me. Sir, it's going to take your top. You know, he's your top person. He's the head of the Joint Chiefs. And I did that because he was the one. He said, sir, we can do it in 3 weeks. I said, 3 weeks? They told me 5 years. No, sir, you can do it in 3 weeks, sir. And I said, let's see if you can do it. And he did it. He had a little time left over, actually. And ISIS was gone, totally defeated. And he's the man we wanted. That's the man I said
I don't care that he is a narcissist.
else even thought
So
it
what?
or even suggested. So I'm very proud to have him head up the whole military operation along with Pete and some other great people.
We need a
So I just want to
narcissist
say
right
that
now.
Michigan, it's been my great honor to be here. I've had tremendous success in Michigan. Not all Republicans have, but I have. And not just this time either. We had we did tremendously well in 2020, and we did incredibly well in 2016. In 2016, they said it couldn't be won. It couldn't be won, but we won, and we won by a lot. So it's a special place, and I don't forget my friends, and Michigan's been my friend. And I want to just thank everybody here. I want to congratulate you, actually, because there are a lot of people that wanted this to happen
You gotta stop
to
me for
their
a
neck
second.
of the woods, but it's happening for you. So congratulations.
Hey, I want to address Callum Bagantins or whatever he is name. Hey, man, if you have an opinion on what he's talking about, that's cool, but don't personally attack him on here. That's not what this channel is about. And if it was somebody you liked up there, we'd say the same thing. Don't attack him personally. You know, one of these days you might piss on yourself too and need some pampers yourself, and your hair gonna fall out. He doesn't have,
Well, we dealt with
and he doesn't.
Joe shitting his pants for 4 years.
And he doesn't have a wig on. He has a comb over. He grows it. So get it right. Okay,
Right.
sorry, I just had that to say. But big dog ball. What are you doing, sweetie?
Ma, tell the hubs I hope he's feeling better, and I hope he bounced better than I would have. Love you, darling.
Doodly doos. But that's all I'm saying, man. If you got something worthy to comment, comment. But no personal attacks, please.
Congratulations, and God bless you all. God bless our military, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations.
Shake hands for 45 minutes. Right? Pretty sure that's what happens. We'll watch in silence.
It was probably digits.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, hell.
Yeah,
We're going to hear from Pete
Yeah,
Gun and talk. We probably better listen to this.
yeah. He gets to a point. I like it. It was kind of an emotional thing. Saying he wanted somebody to have his back at the time, and this guy's been under fire more than anybody else. Real bullets, and then them trying to take him out of the Defense Department. So well, he's actually doing a good job. Go ahead and start it back up and listen.
We're not really right wing there, Calliope Jones, or whatever the fuck your name is. We're not right wing. That's not really the case here.
No, that's not right wing. That's why I said please. If it was your
matter of fact, you could probably call me anti-government. So
if that was Biden up there, we'd still show respect for the office. You know what I'm saying? Do we find him to be a jerk and shit his pants and an embarrassment to America? Yes, we do.
they gave all our money away.
Wait.
And put a bunch of illegals in. Yes, he did.
Somebody that feels like me and will claim a we, but I'm gonna say for me, is that Biden was incompetent. This man does everything he says he's going to do. He's the most transparent president ever in my lifetime, and I'm 65 years old. Is he narcissist? Oh yeah, he's a little narcissist. He likes taking credit for things he's done.
I don't think he's narcissist. I think he's egotistical, maybe not narcissist. I don't think he's a
better
narcissist.
word. Not a narcissist. It's not all about him. You know what I mean? So he gives credit where credit's due. But he's smart. And we need it. We need a deal maker in there right now.
Well, Calliope, here's the deal. I just said I was basically making reference to the fact that you were talking shit about Don, as you called him, And so I referred back to the whole shit in your pants thing because you had also mentioned that. And so, yeah, I actually said shit in your pants. I didn't even go to Pampers. Come on, let's be honest. The man
Okay,
walked into bushes.
we
So
even.
now we're even.
Move
There.
ahead.
So now we're even, man.
Let's keep it
That's
on.
right.
Let's keep it on the talk. The illegal aliens coming in our country have went down 99.999%. 3 people came in the last 100 days.
Oh, we're gonna do a video. We're gonna watch a video on that here in a minute.
And they were sick. The reason they got in. So I mean, eggs down 87.
Only because the Commander-in-Chief invited me. Mr. President, thank you for restoring the warrior ethos inside our formations, for rebuilding our military, reestablishing deterrence around the world, and making Americans proud to wear the uniform. That recruiting surge we're seeing right now is because they know they have a Commander-in-Chief that has their back. That's my message to these men and women every single place we go. All I ever wanted when I was in combat was to know that my commander had my back, no matter what. And with Donald J. Trump, that commander has your back. And that means something to the men and women of America, and that's why we're seeing a record surge in recruiting. That's why we're locking down our southern border. That's why our enemies know we mean business, because we have a Commander-in-Chief that has our back, and he has the back of this base as well. God bless you all. Thank you.
Well, I hadn't planned to speak, but on behalf of all the military men and women who serve our country and serve so honorably on behalf of the state of Michigan, I am.
Wait. Is this the one that got her purse stolen?
This is the one they had to plan kidnapping with the FBI.
Is this Christy?
This is
Christy?
No. This is the governor of Michigan. You know, she's a Democrat, so she's listen, you'll see who she is.
Really damn happy we're here to celebrate this recapitalization at Selfridge. It's crucial for the Michigan economy. It's crucial for the men and women here, for our homeland security and our future. So thank you. I'm so grateful that this announcement was made today, and I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It's because of your leadership this is happening. No one else could save Selfridge. We've tried for decades. It took you, Mr. President. This is why the people of Michigan elected you, sir. You are not forgetting us. This is the first time in decades where we can all say Selfridge is winning. We are winning because of you, President Trump, and I know all of these troops here will not let you down with this new fighter mission, which will keep Selfridge Air National Guard Base thriving for the next 30 to 40 years. Thank you, Mr. President, for remembering us and keeping your commitment when we saw you in Washington a few weeks ago. Thank you, sir.
On your line.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for coming to Macomb County. Thank you for coming to Michigan. And thank you for providing another important service of the F-15X. This means that these folks are going to be continuing on the mission for America for the coming decades. Because of your leadership, America and Selfridge will be leading the way. Thank you, Mr. President, for showing that leadership.
We're good. Okay. So
Okay.
It was Gretchen Whitmer with an
That's
H.
what I said.
And she, yeah, I had to go look it up. But
Or maybe
oh,
what I said. I don't know. I couldn't remember.
no, you
You got-
couldn't remember her name. That's why I went and looked it up. Because she looked like that one broad.
Yeah. She's not a
Hmm,
broad.
I can't remember her name. Christy Nome, more Christy Nome, less Gretchen Whitmer. Well, yeah, I don't know. Hey, Andy, what's up? The problem with Christy is I worry because she's supposed to be protecting us. Like she's like director of Homeland Security or some shit like that. And hello, could you please hold on to your purse? Because that would make me feel a little more secure about my country. I'm just saying. It's the thought.
They caught the guy that got the purse.
Well, I know, but come on.
I know.
Let's be real. Let's fucking be real here.
Baby girl was rolling with some cash too, 2 G's.
Well, and all of her, I mean, everything that you're taught not to do, hold all your eggs in one basket. And never, I'm sorry, ladies, but don't put your protection in your purse. That ain't gonna help you.
It really isn't.
It needs to be on your person.
Surprise, motherfucker! I'm an apple core. He's a daisy.
It's just a PSA, okay? Just keep it on. Yeah. Don't, in your purse isn't necessarily the best thing to do. Bra holster, whatever. And you can put it wherever you want, but on you. So it's much easier to get to. Your purse, what happens? You set it down just as Christy did, and the next thing you know, it walks off with whatever you had in it.
Or some guy goes running by you real fast and just grabs it and keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Know,
Yep. I know.
You can get rid of Trump now.
Okay, we can get rid of Trump, and
Trump.
I want to.
Did you hear the arrest of over 100 illegal aliens up here in Colorado Springs?
That what? Oh, yeah.
And there's a Tesla company. It's literally about 20 minutes from my house. It was one of the Tesla dealership that was burnt.
Oh yeah, ours was burnt just down the road too. Not burnt. I'm sorry. They shot it up. They didn't. I don't think they burned it. I think they just shot holes in a bunch of the Teslas, and I think it caused a lot of damage. I mean, that's a lot of money.
They said it. They already got it fixed and full of new cars.
Oh yeah. It took a few days, but we noticed that they had boards up, and then, a few days later, they finally got it dealt with.
People need to realize that's an American-made car right there.
Yep.
I know the Democrats were big on them, and now they're literally attacking their own party. I live in New Mexico. I see a bunch of them loonies all the time. And I had the most wonderful time just trying to get a conversation going with them. And I put Charlie Kirk on their ass all the time. I go Charlie Kirk on their ass all the time. Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? It's like, it's a strange world, man. Some people can look you right in the eye and immediately they have no common sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what party you're on. If you have common sense, I can admire you and have a discussion with you.
Oh hell, with me,
have no common sense. I mean, it's a lost cause. That's like trying to get a carton of eggs at the rooster shop.
Yeah. Yep. It's kind of like my son says, work ethic. It's not really something you learn. It's something you're born with.
Uh,
He swears, man.
no,
If you're born without work ethic, you ain't never gonna get it. I'm
they're
like,
never gonna
well,
get
I
it.
think that you can, I
I
mean,
mean,
I think that my kids could have tend to have been lazy, but I just beat them into submission.
I bet you did. You crazy mama.
Oh,
It was
don't fuck
what
with
I
me.
had is I think if I didn't enjoy it, if I didn't enjoy doing it, you would probably say I have a bad work ethic. Yet when I was fishing for a living or selling stuff, I loved selling. I loved being in sales.
See,
Uh, but there's
I
nothing like reaching across the desk and somebody shaking your hand and giving you $1,500.
I always told my kids I didn't give a shit what job. I didn't care what they were doing. Whatever it was, I don't care if it was sweeping my floor or actually working somewhere and doing a job for somebody. And I didn't care what job it was, if they loved it or hated it, they were to do the job at 100%, if not more. And they were to do that with everything that they did in life. And then they couldn't look back on shit and go, well, if I'd have done that a little different.
We did just come and
Well, if
agree
I'd
with you. That was a correct. I will co-sign that statement you just put out there. It does have a lot to do with the morality of the world. You know, when you can just back, the little boy and girl lovers, the pedophilia, and you're fighting for their rights. You get, you harm a kid, you need to miss, you get what coming to you. You know what I mean? You need to go in the prison and then go into population. You know, I mean it's just or an angry father's wrath, or angry mother's wrath.
Hey, Kim.
I don't even think they should send them to prison. I think they should just give them to the families. You know, especially the one with 100%. 100%. We know they did what they said. What was done. But I know it can happen. It can happen. People are falsely accused all the time. A lot of women use that against men, with their kids to say he touched me right here wrong or something like that to get make them go away.
Yep.
So I mean, I feel for them guys because now they're going to be people going to think them are pedos the whole
Well, and it
time.
never goes away. Once they've titled them as that, if it's not true, then it never that title never goes away. They're fucked forever.
Yeah. So, but the real ones,
Hey, Kim.
they got a special place in hell for them people.
Mm-hmm.
I hope, and if you ever really hurt one,
Yep.
do some people make bad choices or get caught up in a moment? Who knows? But get away from that subject because that's a dangerous subject to be talking on this. Because they protect them so much. You got senators flying down to talking to an illegal alien in a foreign country trying to spring him. And we got people in Congress standing up to them saying we ain't paying a dime toward it. And then they guys, we'll pay for it, but you gotta film the whole thing the whole time you're there. And then they see these people. I don't know, man. I'm glad I'm not in charge of this fucking madhouse.
Right.
But it wouldn't. I'd be a little heavier handed than most of them.
Kim, how are you doing? Yeah, I definitely I think I do like seeing the changes that are coming on. I like seeing the judges being arrested. I like seeing it. I want to see a lot more of it, but I'm definitely glad to see it. All right, let's watch this because this is good. But let's get past
she
her.
took
Just
on the Supreme Court. They were fixing to hold her in contempt of Supreme Court, and she went in there and turned it into a discussion about the First Amendment and the rights of Americans, and they dropped their contempt charge. She went in there and gave them a lesson. That's a little girl right there. You need to be real proud of. It's the best Secretary Speaker I ever seen.
her, this
She's
girl,
tough quick, man.
Caroline. Yeah,
Yeah. They didn't know she had a law degree.
yeah,
And she
she
got
know dummy.
fight time, because that would have run her if she'd have got a contempt of the Supreme Court. That would have run her political career.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of bow down and cow down, she got up there and articulated and made them discuss, even though they didn't want to, the rights that she had, that she hadn't did anything wrong. There was nothing that they could hold her in contempt for just exercising her First Amendment rights.
Yep. Yep.
School
All right, let's watch
them
her.
on the Constitution, by God.
I've been at this for over 40 years. I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president can't have national security seriously because you can't if you don't have strong border security. We got to know who's coming in, what's coming in, where's coming in, why it's coming in, right? Even President Obama and President Clinton took some steps to secure the border. They understood national security was important. Joe Biden was the first president in the history of this nation who came in office and unsecured a border on purpose. That's just a fact. We handed the Biden administration, after President Trump's first administration, we handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and he unsecured it on purpose. Now, President Trump and this administration here, their success is unprecedented. We beat Trump's first administration on border success. Border numbers are historic low. Today, as I'm standing here, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation. And the numbers prove it. President Trump's policies are saving lives every day. There's been studies done that says 31% of women that make that journey through use of cartels get sexually assaulted. When President Trump has illegal immigration down 96%, when 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being sexually assaulted by the cartels? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this nation? How many known suspected terrorists aren't making it into this country? How many pounds of fentanyl isn't getting into this country to kill young Americans? How many women and children aren't sex trafficked? Under Joe Biden, sex trafficking is up 600%. We had 4,000 aliens dying making that. We had 250,000 Americans dead from fentanyl that came across an open border. President Trump's policy saves lives every day. Even the border wall saves lives. And people want to hate on the border wall. Every place a border barrier has been built, illegal migration's declined, illegal drug flows decline. But you know what no one talks about? The border wall saves lives. Because the most vulnerable, the women and children, can't get over that wall, which means they're going to a place where there's not a wall. And what's waiting on them? The men and women of the United States Border Patrol who will take care of those humanitarian needs, the health needs right off the bat. We just want the numbers. Let me talk about a few numbers that are important to me. Under the Biden administration, we averaged over 11,000 many days, over 12,000, even some days 15,000 illegal entrants in the United States. 15,000. You know what the number was last 24 hours? 178. 15,000 to 178. Unprecedented success. On an average day in the Biden administration, known gotaways. People we knew crossed the border because they're on video, drone traffic or sensor traffic. Cross the border, weren't apprehended, weren't fingerprinted, weren't vetted. Average day under Joe Biden, more than 1,800 gotaways. Yesterday, 38. 38 too many? We'll get that to 0. But we went from 1,800 to 38. And finally, that was said earlier, under the first 100 days, it was actually January 20th to April 1st. Last year, 184,000 illegal aliens were released into the United States. Under this administration, 9. 4 of them were material witnesses in a criminal investigation. We need them here to testify in a serious criminal trial. 4 was extreme medical condition. We couldn't return them because they were in such bad shape. And 1 was a humanitarian issue. This is unprecedented success. The border secure. President Trump saving lives. President Trump has proven no one does it better than President Trump. There is no equal, it's not even close. So God bless the men and women of the Border Patrol. God bless the men and women of ICE who strap a gun to the hip every day, put on a Kevlar vest to not only secure our border and protect our national security, but the ICE agents in the interior, they're removing public safety threats and national security threats every day while you're all sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There are men and women out there enforcing the law, making this country safe again. That.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. And thanks for all your great efforts. We do want to open it up to questions. If you have border related questions for Mr. Homan, and I'm also happy to take any non-border related questions. I'm happy to take border questions too, but Tom is here offering his time. Questions. We'll start with our new media seat today. As always, Rogan O'Hanley, former Hollywood entertainment lawyer, I didn't know that, Rogan, who got fed up with the far left ideologies of California and now posts conservative political commentary online for his more than 7 million followers across all major platforms. He joins us today from the great state of Florida. Why don't you kick us off today, Rogan?
Thank you, Caroline. In Trump's first 99 days, we've seen a coordinated assault on the rule of law by radical judges who are thwarting his agenda with an unprecedented number of national injunctions. These judges are providing more due process to violent MS-13 and Tren de Aragua illegal aliens than they did for American citizens who peacefully protested on January 6th. As Stephen Miller has highlighted, it would be utterly ridiculous to have full trials and appeals for the more than 15 million illegal aliens that came across our border under Joe Biden. Many are now calling for Trump to circumvent these radical judges and consider suspending the writ of habeas corpus solely for these illegal aliens in accordance with the terms of Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution, which explicitly allows for such a measure when there is a rebellion or invasion. There's strong precedent for this action, being that it was exercised by 3 of our greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant, and Democrats' favorite president of all time, FDR. All 3 of which are not only celebrated by historians, but are immortalized on our national currency with their faces on there. Furthermore, all 3 used it against American citizens, where in this instance, we would only be using it against illegal aliens. I think almost every reasonable American would agree that 15 million illegal aliens coming across our border under Joe Biden counts as an invasion, especially since many, as you highlighted, are now robbing, assaulting, raping, and killing American citizens. Historic assaults on our republic require reciprocal action from our government. Can you please let us know if and when the Trump administration is planning to suspend the writ of habeas corpus to circumvent these radical judges who are infringing on his Article 2 powers and to start shipping out illegals en masse?
I have not heard such discussions take place, but I can assure you that the president and the entire administration are certainly open to all legal and constitutional remedies to ensure we can continue with the promise of deporting illegal criminals from our nation's borders. And I also agree with the premise of your question, which doesn't happen in this room often, but I do agree with yours. It is absurd that the previous administration was allowed to allow 15 million that we know about illegal aliens into this country with very little pushback from our judicial branch. But this president is trying to simply enforce our nation's immigration laws and is facing roadblock after roadblock. So we're compliant with court orders, but as Tom Homan has said every day, we're going to continue to forge ahead with this mass deportation campaign, and the president is open to all remedies to do that. Thanks for being here today, Rogan.
If I can also answer your question, as far as the judges, look, we just arrested a judge, Pam Bondi, for impeding ICE enforcement removals. I said from day one, you don't have to support ICE's operations, You can support sanctuary cities if that's what you desire to do. Sanctuary cities can stand aside and watch ICE keep their communities safe. Because any public official, whether you're mayor, city councilman, or governor, their number one responsibility is protection of communities. And ICE has been clear, we're targeting public safety threats and national security threats. I can't believe there's any elected official, and especially a judge, that doesn't believe we should be doing that, and they should be helping us. But I said from day one, you can sit aside and watch, you can argue against us all you want and protest all you want, but when you cross that line, I've said this 1,000 times, when you cross that line to impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien from ICE, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. And as far as releasing so many people, you know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings can be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can award an amnesty to millions. This is about selling this country out for future political power. That's what it was. The law clearly says if you
All I know, there's a lot of people that are pissed, like that don't think common sense wise. But I know there's a lot of people pissed that of people that they don't believe should have to leave the country because for whatever reason. One of the biggest things that I know they're pushing is you're kicking little kids out. Their parents can't stay, and so you kick the little kids out. No, the parents can't stay. The kids, I think it's stupid, are citizens of the U.S., but yeah, the parents want to take the kids with them. That's what a decent parent does, not leave them in America. So how is that? He's not taking the kids. Hey, Rooster, what's up? When will we see the mass deportation we were promised? Well, I believe, haven't I heard it's 149,000 that they've already deported?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, my daughter, who is the most common sense thinking kind of girl out there, but she is a college student in New Mexico. And she said, Dad, what about that guy who was an American but got deported by mistake? But no, you don't see nobody jumping down there, flying down there and helping him. I said, well, that you got to blame on first your Congress for not taking action once it's proven that
First of all,
wait, let me finish. I got to point this. He's a casualty of war. People got to understand we are at war. Okay, he'll be walked. You know, it'll be fixed and washed out in the wash. You know, he's not going to have to remain out of country because he is an American and a stand-up guy.
he's not. That's the problem. He's not
No,
a stand-up guy. He's
no,
fucking MS-13.
No,
He's
no,
not a
honey,
stand-up
no,
guy.
honey, we're not talking about that guy. Don't get worked up. I'm talking about another guy, a guy from one of our towns. So, you know, I'm just talking about he's an American. He just got mistakenly nabbed when they grabbed a bunch of people. He was with them.
Oh, gotcha.
You know,
I thought you were
he's
talking
going,
about
hey,
that dude from.
because I just met these guys. You know what I mean, and that kind of stuff. And but he's an American, and they're trying to get him back now. But she was like, you know, she was just coming at me a little bit with this deportation thing. I said, you know, you got to understand we're at war. These people, every one of them broke the law by circumventing our procedure in which to enter our country. And she agreed with that. And I said, you know, so, you know, it's not like we're going out there looking for them for nothing, you know. And a lot of them were bad people that came in here. It's been proven. I mean, you check out the White House lawn right now. There's hundreds of cardboards out there, people that's been caught and deported for a bunch of heinous crimes.
And here's the deal: even if they are not, criminals or whatever, like they didn't commit mass murder, whatever. The fact that they're coming here and they're illegal right now, I'm sorry, but we are bleeding at every orifice that we've got. We got to stop the bleeding. And the only way to do that is to clean house. And it means every area that we have, and it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. And it's called, like I said, paying the piper. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to pay the piper, and it's going to hurt. And it's going to suck. But you know what? Those road burns they'll heal. You'll be all right.
Well, yeah, Trump, that's one of Trump's pet peeves there, Rooster. So, I think that's going away. You can't just come out,
I think so too.
squat on the ground, shit out a kid, and say, hey, he's the first American of our family.
Yeah, no.
No, he's still Guatemalan. No, he's still Mexican. No, he's still Venezuelan, whatever.
Yeah.
And
I also don't think that we should be allowing people from other countries to buy our land. And I don't care if they're a corporation or a private person, because if you say, only a private person can, well, then a corporation's just going to pay a private person to buy a bunch of land for them. I mean, for Christ's sakes, that ain't hard to figure out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Chinese-owned companies and businesses and land that are owned by the government of China inside America.
Yep.
And a lot of them around our bases and our farmland.
Mm-hmm.
And you got people like Bill Gates. He's buying it up just to try to throw a wrench in the works. So
yeah.
I mean,
and everybody can go, oh God, here comes the tinfoil hats or what. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but the fact is that it's true, and they've made it very clear. The same thing as chemtrails. I get the eye roll even here at home, but you know what? It's true, whether you like it or not. And even Trump has said he will be putting a kibosh to that shit, and I hope he hurries up. But here's the deal. These are kind of the things that really piss me off. If they know that a part of the government is breaking the law, so to speak, or infringing on our rights to get something done, such as, I don't care, vaccines or whatever. I think that it's bullshit that they let stuff continue. Like the deal where I wanted to watch, where Phil was interviewing RFK Jr. and they were discussing the MMR vaccine. And in that vaccine, they didn't do the studies on it that should be done. And there's a lot of stuff, of course, in it that shouldn't be. You're sticking a bunch of vaccines together. Just because they worked great separately doesn't mean they work great together. And they need to see what's going on with these vaccines. Well, anyways, in the end, even though he said, yes, there's a bunch of shit that's wrong with it, and we know it, and we need to do lots more testing on it, but we're going to go ahead and we feel that you should just go ahead and keep giving it to them, to your kids.
Well, that's like the percentage of COVID victims out there that died. This is not me, and I could have been wrong. I could be wrong, because I am not the smartest man in the world, but I do pay attention to subjects like this. 5% were actual COVID deaths. A lot of other ones you can build up to hospitals being paid that, they can search back. They can search back in and find just a very, very minute part of the coronavirus, not even a COVID virus, but a coronavirus, and they all of a sudden they died from COVID. And as far as the peer reviews that are now finally out, because now we've had some time go by. At first, we didn't have any time go by. Peer reviews by over 300 doctors that are in this field, and scientists in this field are are saying that the vaccine was much worse than the actual COVID. In fact, it's how you got it in your system was by taking that shot, which a lot of times that's what they do is, is trying to build up a autoimmune system against that by giving you a small dose of the
This is
attack.
not medical information. This is just our opinions.
Yeah, this is our thing, and this is, hey, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not even sure I'm right about what I'm talking about. You take it seriously, you're a dumbass. But this is for entertainment value only. And but I'm just saying, this is what I'm listening to several shows that I pay attention to. I watch X22. I watch Benny Johnson. I watch news of both sides, and you can see where they're baiting. It's always a baiting thing, trying to give you partial infos or partial information so they can clip a little spot and tell you, well, see, this went this way. And if you'd have listened to the whole clip, you'd have heard them deny it altogether. So, I mean, and the pen, that's good. They're going to all lose their pardons. When they find out who was actually behind that pen, they're going to release all that shit. And then guess what? Hunter might, Biden doesn't remember giving pardons to his son or to what's his old pencil neck Schiff and Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna post date their guilt from this day to this day. They're not guilty of nothing. You don't need that kind of. There's no such thing as a pardon like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get immunity.
Sure.
Yeah, put it back on him.
All right.
Not maybe, not thinking about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over. That's what the law says, and that's what we've done.
Mary.
A question on Abrego Garcia, if I can. The president recently said when it comes to facilitating his release, he's leaving that up to his lawyer. So just to be clear, have there been any negotiations between the U.S. and El Salvador over his release or facilitating his release?
I will tell you what the president of El Salvador told all of you in the Oval Office. El Salvador does not intend to smuggle a designated foreign terrorist back into the United States. He is in El Salvador. Comply with what President Bukele said of El Salvador. He does not intend to send that individual back.
So that's a no. There's been no talks.
What I have told you is that the president of El Salvador has made this quite clear. Kate.
Carolyn, can you tell us more about the meeting between President Trump over the weekend? Did that meeting thing indicative?
After the meeting himself yesterday, when he took questions from reporters on Air Force One, he thinks that increasing leaders.
The sound of crap.
See a permanent ceasefire first to stop the killing, stop the bloodshed. While he remains optimistic he can strike a deal, he's also being realistic as well. And both leaders need to come to the table to negotiate their way out of this. And I do think that the president meeting with President Zelensky shows that he is exuding a lot of effort and time into this because he wants to be a peacemaker president, which he was in his first term. He intends to do that again. And this is an incredibly difficult.
Do you have any lip reader? Oh, down at the bottom. What's wrong with the sound? You got two receivers on?
No, it's saying it lost connection with the sound. I'm telling you, I just got to break down and do it. I don't want to, though. It's going to be expensive.
You can do it.
Ow.
You only get
That
9
hurts.
pair of new shoes this month.
I want to, okay, we're going to have to stop watching that because it's just not working.
Yeah, you'd have made LW's head blow up and
Oh my God. And she
full
would have, yeah, I'm sure they're both listening in the back going, oh my God.
I love them guys. You know, and you know, I totally get it. I really do. Because I do have, you know, I don't have my equipment set up that I should have set up by now. It gives me a lot better tone. It's more of a real time. I can hear people coming in. You know, the timing is better, and the conversation flows so much more smoother when everybody's hard connected. And I understand it. You know, and I'm just a procrastinator. Excuse me. You know, but I'm gonna attempt it. I'm doing a little spring cleaning, so I'll get to it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit at this point. I don't care. I mean, when it gets done, it gets done. There's lots of things that are in front of it that take a bigger priority. So, you know, I mean, I just can't. I can't afford to fork out that kind of money.
Oh. Guess what I did? Guess what I did, huh? Guess what I did?
What'd you do?
I went online and checked my phone bill. They said, "Oh, it's up for review," and they went from $149 to $179.
Jesus, for one phone?
Yeah, so I
what the fuck?
I called them up, and I've been with Verizon for over 20 years. I called them up and I said, I need to talk to a live person after I finally got through the AI bullshit and got to talking with live people. I said, here's the scoop. I'm not going to pay $179 a month. In fact, I'm not going to pay anything over $75 a month with everything.
What's your carrier?
Verizon.
That's what mine is. Jesus, that's expensive for one
Yeah,
phone.
and I told her, I said, you know what? I'm a disabled old fat man, 65 years old. I said, even though I'm handsome and all that, and that's worth a lot of money, I'm actually not getting paid on just being handsome. I'm on a fixed income, you know, and I got money, you know, but I hate giving it to phone companies. And I just told them, I said, you to do it, I can go get $13, $20 a month. I'll just go get me a phone and buy minutes. I don't care. But everybody's all tech crazy, and I guess I'm kind of tech crazy. It's amazing having a computer in your hand and a TV and whatever. And anyway, to make a long story short, I had to go get my 214 for my military service. We had to do a search. I had to do a search and he was in the Army, all right, honorable discharge, and all that shit. So I sent it. So now I'm gonna be paying $68 a month.
Well, there you go.
But I got to pay $139 this month. They had all kinds of shit crammed in on me that I didn't know was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Apple Play. I could give a shit about Apple Play. That's $15 a month.
Dang.
I'd
have been pissed.
And that's not to mention 3 or 4 other things. I kept roadside assistance because, I don't like being stranded. If I get stranded, they can haul that sumbitch off and put me in a rental car. And I kept, I might have to get one more thing. I might have to get my cloud back. They took that out and I didn't tell her to, so that's $4 a month, which I think is bullshit. Especially to long-time customers, I could
$4
literally,
a month to hold files.
I could literally quit Verizon, go to someplace else for a year, and come back as a new customer, and get a way better deal than I got now.
Yeah, my son, his girlfriend just went back to him, and then him and her went in on a account together, and oh Jesus, it ended up being, let's see, what was it? Let me see. He sent me the thing because he said, Mom, the guy said, go talk to him and he'll get you in on this deal. Where'd it go? Because we pay like 200 and something a month for 3 phones. Let's see, where'd it go?
Well, I guess it's still a lot better. That's
Yeah, 55 a month. 55 a month is what it'll be.
Oh yeah, for 3 phones?
For 2 phones. We're going to take one off because we don't need it. So.
Okay. Well, shit. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
And that's Verizon?
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? Oh, I know why. Little mine's 68 because I got a phone about 6 months ago.
So you're paying payments
I'm still paying for that $1,000 motherfucker that cost them $5.
Right.
Cost them $5 to make. Do you understand?
For a little girl in China to make, mind you.
You know, that's something else I'm supposed to talk about Verizon I didn't know. Their service system is in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why isn't this in America? Why aren't Americans getting that?
Well, I think that kind of shit is going to get more expensive, and we're going to end up buying American and a lot of companies are going to start moving to America because
I think I'm going to bring that up with years. And me and President Trump's next meeting, I think I'm going to bring that up.
Yeah, you should. Bring it up to about the fucking foreigners buying our land too. I don't care how they get that land back from China, but we want it back now. We want it back now.
What are you talking about?
The land that China has.
All
the land of ours that they have, that they've bought around our country.
Oh yeah.
We want it back.
Hey, you know, it pissed me off when they let Hong Kong get invaded by them and took back over. You know, and they're eyeing Taiwan again. You know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm selfish. I don't care about none of them motherfucking countries. Sorry. Right now, it's time we become selfish. Fuck all y'all. We need to get our own shit.
It's nice to have an air base within striking distance of China. You know what I'm saying?
Well, whatever.
With an ally.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sure it does. See, I
think Korea.
We're too narrow.
You know, I mean, that 38th parallel, that's the line of communism, not communism. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. So what's going on with the gutters today?
Same old. I had my grandson most of the day. I usually don't have him on Tuesdays, but the horse had to go to the vet, so you know. So I had the grandson, and we hung out and played and had fun. And I got up and went to the grocery store early this morning, got ready, and got all my shit together because I knew I was going to have him, and I knew I had my live, and it just all runs together, especially with Marv home now. So, you know, even though, I mean, it's not like I have to fucking monitor Marv or babysit him or he don't give a shit what I'm doing.
How's he feeling?
He's not feeling too bad. it still seems to be swelling up on that one side, and so I think it's just because it needs to drain, and from what the doctor said, that's what it sounded like to me. So I think he may have to go in one more time and have it drained, and then it should heal. Because if it fills up, then it's not healing like it should. So he'll have to go in and have it drained again. But I mean, it doesn't take but a second, and it really doesn't even hurt, he says, which is amazing to me because they use this big ass needle to do it with.
Oh, I just got like a cold chill running.
Oh yeah, I know. And they do it, dude, and they do it right in the fucking incision. I mean, they literally poke that bitch right into the incision where they cut his ass.
Like a dog shitting a peach seed when he's off that shit, you know. Oh my God, I got a chill went down my whole back when you did that. Good Lord.
Yeah, poor guy. So he is he's definitely a hurting unit. He's just, I mean, he's not really a hurting unit. He just wants to get this part out of the way. At this point, he feels pretty good. So that now he's like, okay, could this just hurry up and heal up so I can get back to normal? And like right now, there's not a lot we can really do. And I mean, he's got time off. We want to do something. So, but I told him, no, we really got to hang loose. So that's one of the things when I pick out places to go camping, I'm going to pick like places where we can just open up our door and like look out at the water, and that way he can sit out there, and because we're not hiking, which is what we normally would be doing, he can at least just kind of sit out there and watch the, you know, there's always things to look at when there's water
Good night,
around.
Patty.
So
We say good night to Patty.
good night, honey. See you later.
Doodly doos.
Have a good night, sweetheart.
If they do, bite them back.
That's right.
I don't like them little bugs bully you, kid. See, I think they're scared of her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. He should have to be sitting on a pier catching crappie somewhere. He don't fish, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does?
Yep, he used to go to Alaska and get halibut all the time, and they used to do it in a fucking skiff. He rented himself and fucking floated out in the middle of the bay or wherever they went in Petersburg and would catch big ass fucking halibut.
Oh, I love it.
Huge halibut. Yeah,
that's one of my
huge.
One of my most favorite fish in the world.
Yeah,
I've never caught one. You know,
I love the taste of halibut. Oh, it's so
I
good.
love it. I had a friend that used to send me all kinds of crab and halibut, and you know, it was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Them big king crab legs, man, as big as your freaking arm. You know, and he'd send me like 30, 40 pounds at a time. And then a couple of weeks later, you know, 50, 60 pounds of halibut would show up.
Yep.
I ain't going to tell you what I thin on him because I don't want to self-incriminate myself.
Marv he would go fishing in Alaska, and he would fly up there. The first couple times he went, he'd bring back a little bit of fish. Well, like the third time he went up there, he calls me and he said, I will be home tomorrow and I have 250 pounds of halibut.
Oh,
and we didn't have a freezer. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with 250 pounds of halibut? What do you want me to do? He goes, I need you to get a freezer. I'm like, right now, this was, 30 years ago. They didn't just deliver quite that quick then. And so I ended up calling around and found one that we'd actually bought a fridge or something from before. Maybe it was a dryer or something we bought from before. And so they were really nice and was like, Yeah, and the guy's like, okay, well, I'll deliver it, but only for because I also needed it delivered. That was the big deal. Is I could buy it, but I couldn't get it delivered by anybody else but these guys. And he goes, I'll deliver it, but I gotta have something for it. And he's being a smart ass and he wasn't serious. So I made sure to give him fish when he came and dropped it off because he literally dropped it off the minute Marvin basically got home. Thank God.
Nice.
So, yeah, yep. So
We
he,
used to, when I was coming up, I was fishing on shrimp boats and stuff. But all through my life, I had uncles that were in the seafood business, and we ate fresh seafood like most people eat chicken and hamburger.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what we ate, and lots of vegetables and stuff we grew ourselves, and we had, our own cows, pigs, rabbits, chickens, ducks,
Mhm.
and so I had never ever remember my mom going to the store and buying meat. She very little few things did she get from the store. She'd buy stuff like rice and grits and maybe cooking oil but we even had homemade butter, until Nancy, that was the cow.
Mhm.
She was getting real old, so we didn't get another milk cow after that. So we started buying our milk and stuff there. But up to that point, we drank real milk. We take the cream out the top, make butter with it, or
Mhm.
my daddy was Greek. We made our own mayonnaise with olive oil and eggs. Because we had plenty of eggs.
Right.
You know, and so I mean, I didn't even get fat until I moved away from house. Because we ate so well. We ate real food, and there wasn't no chemicals on them either. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, we didn't really have bugs back in that targeted everything. We didn't.
Uh,
Our biggest worry was piss ants, red ants.
Somebody sent me this. Let me show you this.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that shit called that be coming down? The bullshit animals, it's scorpions outside the house, it's big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you, all the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love the people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable. You're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and old malnourished cows.
You know, A lot of people always say, I'm leaving America. I'm well, whole ass.
No, I love. Here's what I love. This is a minute. I made sure to make her own. She gonna be famous. Let me show you.
The bullshit too expensive. The bullshit not having no snacks. The bullshit not having no food.
The bullshit not having no snacks. The bullshit not having no food.
She missing her snacks too.
Yeah.
You can tell she ain't been there very long though. You got malnutrition, kids who have malnutrition, but she still got big old cheeks. She could get that kid a sandwich.
Oh, I thought that was funny or shit. Who's Boo Shot? Who's Boo Shot?
I got a BBT card with a couple of bucks. Well,
Yank.
What's
Boo Shot? What's Boo Shot? Did somebody say Boo Shot? Oh, bullshit. Right. Bullshit. That's what she says.
Bullshit.
The bullshit too expensive. The bullshit not having no snacks. The bullshit not having no food.
Bullshit.
The bullshit. I know I should change that to say that. The bullshit. The bullshit.
Yeah, my mama made candy and cakes and cupcakes and
with bullshit in Africa. You don't have. Well, and here's what she did. She contradicts herself in that video too, because at the beginning she's like, they're scamming you over here. They're doing this. They're doing. I mean, it's
the people are nice,
right? And then yeah, at the end of it, oh, but these people are really nice. Are they really? Okay. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah. When you were little, did your mom make her own icicles? Popsicles.
We made our own popsicles. Yep.
Yeah,
I just made my grandson popsicles out of juice.
You got them little Tupperware.
Yep.
Tupperware. Yep. Them things are wonderful.
Yep.
Just go and pour you some grape juice in one of them suckers, man.
Yep.
Mix some raspberry with some grape. Go on, get
He
it.
likes my cran grape juice, and so that's what I froze. He loves them.
I like cran grape. That's pretty good.
Yep. I used to do cran raspberry, and then all of a sudden it just became too sour to me. I don't know what they did, change the recipe, whatever, but so now it's cran grape.
Right, and of course you got your prune sickles in there, right?
No prune sickles for me. I do like prunes though. I'll eat prunes. Fuck yeah. My grandson loves prunes.
And dates, I love dates.
Yeah, my grandson is the weird things that he loves. He loves prunes and he loves avocados like nobody's business.
I love avocados. I love them. I love avocado sandwich and mayonnaise and tomato sandwiches with bacon on it. Bacon, lettuce, and avocado mayo. No lettuce. You don't put no bullshit lettuce on my shit. Although I like lettuce.
Bacon, avocado. What'd you say? Bacon, avocado, and tomato?
Yeah. A bot. Or a bat.
A BAT.
BAT.
Gonna have me a BAT.
With mayo. Thank you very much.
Prune sickles. Yeah, just throw them in the freezer. And chow on them.
Well, they keep you regular.
I love prunes.
I do too, man. I don't eat enough of them, but they're kind of expensive, to tell the truth.
They're really good for you. I mean, they are high in sugar, but
they're like candy, man. It's like figs. We had this giant, big bush when I was a kid. It had big old figs on it, and the sweetest figs you ever ate, man. And Mom would say, "Well, you ought to wash them off before you eat them." We'd be out there like little pigs, man. Give me them figs,
I never liked figs.
Oh,
Don't
these
know
things
why.
were so sweet. They were so good.
I don't know. Just the flavor of figs was just never my thing.
You didn't want to eat more than 4 or 5 of them though. And then that's how there's a lot of fig trees around that area because the birds eat too many of them. Putting the seeds everywhere.
Dates with cream cheese. I'll bet I haven't had that, but I'll bet my daughter-in-law would love that.
Absolutely.
Except she don't like cheese, but cream cheese is different, right?
I like apricots and cheese on a bagel. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the way I like it.
I'm not a bagel person. Never have been.
I love bagel. I like onion and garlic bagels. With cheese on it and butter, with a cup of coffee. Oh,
I try to stay away from the all, but I do love English muffins, and if I can have the sourdough, yay.
Yeah, I'm a snob sourdough guy.
Yeah,
I love sourdough.
Me too. Yep.
Wow, it tripped me out, man. I went to Outback and got me some wings and some coconut shrimp, and I picked it up out of the drive up, carry out. I get home, I gotta you earn points on your diner's card. Thanks for visiting Outback. Okay, first off, I didn't give them any information. I called them, but then they put me in a computer and added me to their system, and I got a fucking email out of it. I hate that.
It's kind of creepy. It's like, what the fuck, man? Hey.
I hate that. It was like, dude, that's just not right. You added me to your system without my permission.
It's making me hungry too, Yank.
Yeah. I'm having
Hey, Austin.
Fried dumplings, chicken and vegetable dumplings.
Then you don't get a bitch, Austin. If you didn't vote, you don't get a bitch. No bitching for you if you didn't vote in your Canadian election. Canada is doomed. You're right, it is. But it's okay because you're going to become the 51st state. Just hold tight.
The conservatives didn't get in?
Nope.
Then it was fixed.
Well, that's what everybody else says, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. I know there's a lot of liberal fuckers up there. There's a lot of liberals.
Ooh.
They all puppets. I don't give consent to any puppets to rule over me. I ain't check. Well, then how you don't get to bitch then. They all love Indians. Oh.
What if y'all lost by 1 vote?
Right. Your vote, Austin. Damn it. You had 1 job, Austin. Just kidding. It's your country. You do what the fuck you want.
You got a chance to vote. There's a lot of countries you don't get no vote.
They'll decide for you. Well, in your case, I think that's what they did. You think the international deep state that rules the world cares about who we vote for? Well,
I think a lot of them are being rooted out, to tell you the truth.
I don't know. I think they're a long ways from being rooted out. I think
they're a long ways from being rooted out, but they're going to be rooted out.
I don't know. Well, this ain't a vote thing. The deep state goes way higher than just the politicians, and so those guys aren't. It's all money.
Well, I knew they were going to happen. I knew that shit was going to happen when they took your guns. They did the same thing, the same plan they pulled in Australia.
Mm-hmm. They'll do it to us if we ain't fucking careful. We better pay attention, people.
They ain't gonna take our shit.
I'm telling you what, they're doing it one state at a time.
They're trying.
Fucking Oregon's well on its way to losing a lot of rights.
And then you're in lawfare because the state's got more money than you.
Yes. Now you've just sucked all your worth out because you just fought them.
You know, because you got to pay for a fucking constitutional attorney that tells them, no, that's you can't tell me to do that. You're infringing. And then after they convict you anyway, then you got to go to appeals court, and from appeals court, then you go to the Supreme Court of the state, and from there, Supreme Court of the state, then you can go federal with it. So you got to have three separate judges or three separate juries decide your right to carry a handgun. That's your God-given right. It isn't a country's privilege. It's a right. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a right, but you still got to handle the weapon in a common sense way, you know.
Yank said, I think I'm going to look into the benefits of living on a houseboat. I heard lots of tax breaks to doing so, but I don't know for sure.
I'd like to get me a big catamaran sailor. I mean, there's some nice boats out there, you know, and they're a lot of it's really, they got it down to a science now. You know, I mean, it's boat, you got to be able to keep it maintained. Thing about living on houseboats and stuff, that you really got to pay attention to your, you know, are you taking on water? Are your engines running right? How are you getting rid of your gray water, you know, your dark water and that kind of stuff. So, but I've considered doing that myself, but I think it's come to a matter of fact that it's going to be like, I'm going to go get that bus gutters. You know,
get on it.
I got to get on it because I want that. Because I can live in a new state every 2-3 months. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it'd take me, a couple months to go around that state and really look at everything. And just hop state to state, you know, check hits. Ooh, time to go.
So it does say, since the boat is not attached to land, you won't have to pay any property tax on your vessel. But depending on where you dock your houseboat, you may need to pay monthly taxes for the dock or the slip or the marina.
Well, this is true. I'm getting old, so I don't feel like doing all that bullshit.
I know some people that just bought a barge. It's in a lake, and it was actually, so it's a lake in Idaho that they do all their, I'm not sure. I think that Marines or the Navy, one of them, do all their research for underwater stuff in this lake because it's like the deepest lake. And so that barge that this couple bought was a retired, it had all the computer shit on it, like all the computer stuff. And so you could see where all the fans were and all that stuff that kept it all cool. And it's a really cool barge though, and they're going to turn it into a house. It's pretty cool. Their names are Nate and somebody. I don't remember. Nate and somebody. Nate and Kara. Kara. Nate and Kara. Kara with a K. Anyways, you have to check it out, Yank, because it's a pretty cool barge, and see what they're doing. And they usually show all the shit that they do as they go along in building their shit. So they've done some really cool shit. Like they made really cool tree houses and all kinds of stuff on this land that they bought in Washington. Super cool. They have a whole YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. Nate and Kara, or Kara and Nate, one of the two. I think it's Nate and Kara though. But yeah, I suppose it's already friggin' 9:30 my time, and I've been up since fucking before 6, and I am tired. I wore myself out today. Well, I think Lou helped wear me out. Yeah, Yank, no problem, honey.
Yeah, I put my dumplings on to cook. Just so I hate getting processed food like that, but them are pretty good. Couldn't be eating them, but yum.
We had leftover roast tonight because I usually don't cook on Tuesday nights. So I usually try to make sure whatever I cooked the night before is something we can have for leftovers the next night. So
Roast is never bad as leftovers.
I know. Unless you ask Matthew, he fucking hates roast. He hates it. And it's weird because I mean I really try to, careful on. I mean, of course, when the kids were little, I actually didn't care as much, and I just threw that shit in, just trying to hurry up and get stuff done. Where now I actually care. I didn't have time to care then. I was lucky if I even got a bite of food. The kids always usually ate it. They might not have liked it, but they ate it.
Oh,
I mean, they didn't kill it, but it wasn't like I cook it now.
My mother and my father both were throwdown cooks. We always, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how many friends would show up. I could tell the times, how many times a friend would just happen to show up around dinner time at the FEMA's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, all right, you're going to have to leave in 20 minutes. Or we're going to be eating, or you come here, you're going to have to sit down to dinner. And, they'll go, no, I've already ate or whatever. I don't care. Bring your ass to the table and sit down. Yes, ma'am. My mama was serious about that shit. She was fed the world. She could have. And you might not see my brother Joe for 3 or 4 weeks, but you take some shrimp out to fry, he would miraculously show up.
Hey,
I don't know how he did it. He was the oldest, and they're always glad to see him, because he didn't come by. He was an adult doing his adult thing, his own life, and so that was cool.
So you left scared or scarred? I'm thinking it was more scarred if his fingers. Yank said he went to a gastro doctor today and his fingers were the size of bananas, so he left very scared. I think he meant scarred and probably
he was scarred.
Violated. You were violated. Weren't you, Yank? Both. He said, yeah, you were violated. That's what happened to you. Ow. Ow. See, I swear.
Long as you didn't get any hickeys there, Yank, you're okay.
I swear, though, man, doctors, I swear, man, it's 9 times out of 10, it's the treatments that take you out, not the freaking diseases that you have. Whatever it is that they treat you for, I mean, you could probably die at old age of a lot of diseases, but they try to treat you for it, and in the process, they take you out. I mean, let's be honest with some of the medications that they have out on the market. You ain't wrong, Mr. D, he said. How are you, Jenny? 8675309. From far back, it looks like 867530 online. We're all doing good, Austin. Hope you're doing good. I suppose, though. I better get my butt off here and get my butt to bed. I gotta turn around and do this all again tomorrow.
piece still, please.
I don't do mammograms either, Jenny. Fuck that. No, thank you. I don't need them killing me quicker. Mm-mm. I'll die on my own. Thanks. So anyways, yes, thank you for coming and hanging with me, Mr. Duggar. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk about the stuff that we really want to talk about and the stuff I wanted to show regarding RFK Jr., but oh well, I'll have to find some other stuff and
re-add it
and show it. Yep,
Bring
redo it. Yep.
It'll probably be
anyways.
something else to talk about by then anyway.
Oh, of course. Of course I will. Yep.
I'm telling you what, Trump and team are moving, man.
Yeah,
You're not
things are
saying
happening.
that.
We need to see a lot more judges and a lot more people arrested. We need to
He's
see that.
been in
Like
100 days
fucking
today. Half his team it took them 2 to 3 months to even get validated or voted on. So I mean, it's taking a minute. We got time, but they want to make sure.
We have a lot of time.
All right, I'm sorry about all you people in Canada going through what you're going through.
Yep. Yep, I am too. But, you know, on the bright side, you could become the 51st state at this point. I offer free mammograms for every lady out there. I have very experienced touch.
All right, Gutters. Chat, thank y'all for showing up and keeping Gutters company.
Thank you for coming and keeping me company, Duggars. I will talk to you later, darling.
All right, baby.
You have a good night.
God's blessings to all the chat. Y'all remember Mr. Duggar does love everybody. Y'all take care of you little bitty selves. Toodly doo.
There goes Mr. Duggar. No, I want to stay Canadian. I love you to say, but I'm Canadian. Well, you might not have a choice, Austin. You guys couldn't get the right dude in there. But anyways, I hope y'all have a fabulous night. Yes, y'all rest easy. You too, Jenny. See y'all later. Love yas. Remember, without you, I wouldn't be here. I'll see you on Friday. Good night.
News bulletin. Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's at the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth! Ignore the flames!
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your